Picture this. You're a single dad who works too many jobs, you love your kid, and you'll never stop. So you need something reliable to get from point A to point B. What do? You buy yourself what's the equivalent of a 1992 Astro van. It's got space, it's got seats, it has everything you need for your daily routine. Well, 18 years later, your kid finally grows up and whoa, here comes the Space Wizard knocking on your door to give you a full ride of tuition for your son to Space Wizard Academy. You go, sweet, I'll take that deal, and you send him off. Well, now you got this old beater you've been taking care of for the past 18 years, and you think to yourself, I deserve a treat. And what do? You get that two-door coupe you've been looking at with the turbo, and man, does it have all the bell and whistles that you need. And best part is, it only fits two. So, on your way to go bang that farm girl from season 1, you get a knock on the door. And who is it? Well, it's your son. 3 months in, and he quit that Space Wizard shit, and he's like, I'm moving back in, Dad. And the worst part is, he doesn't have a car. So, you're gonna have to make room for that coupe. And he just ruined your fucking plans, and now you gotta stick with this bad boy. And this is how you end up with the N-1 Starfighter. I'm Scott, these are the breaks, let's go to review. Welcome back everybody. Today we're looking at the set numbers 75325, the Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter, 412 pieces for 9 and up. Isn't that wonderful? This bad boy retails for about $60 hairs, and let me tell you, it ain't worth it. I would say $40. I would even say $60. I think that price is outrageous, and it's kind of irate. But you get what you get, and you get a wonderfully rushed masterpiece. I'll say that. I'm not a big fan of this thing, just get off that on my chest, but it is very rushed, and I do think they could have done a little bit better job. What do you get with this package? You get 2 minifigures and 2 little micro minifigures? I wouldn't really know if you would call them that, but we're going to get into that right now. Let's go look at those minifigures. Alright, straight into minifigures, we have Mandalorian, Grogu, Pelemoto, I believe, and a BD droid. No extra specification on the model number, which that's okay. First off, this Mandalorian is really top tier. I think it's ultimate collector status, just amount of detail. Let's get into that right away. So he has the Beskar helmet, which looks fantastic. Actually looks kind of stupid, to be honest with you. I hate that printing on the face. It looks so dumb. I guess I'm just so used to using, having, you know, Boba Fett ones, but I just think that looks stupid. But printing aside, he has a wonderful Beskar helmet, which when you take it off, has a wonderful printed face with the nice little nougat flesh tone. Has some detailing right there on the scarring, or just dimples on his face. Looks like dimple on his face on that one. Nice little 5 o'clock shadow. And nothing on the back, no hairpiece either. He has this wonderful dark bluish gray silver jetpack which comes on. And then look at the printing on the arms. I mean, look at that Beskar. That just looks fantastic. I think it's, the detail of the Mudhorn, I think is what it's called. That is awesome. I think that printing alone on the arms and the printing on the legs reminds me very much of the UCS. Reminds me very much of the UCS Boba Fett, so I think this is fantastic to have that amount of detail and a minifigure. He's probably the best part of this whole set. And he comes with a Darksaber, which is a wonderful Darksaber in a lightsaber format. They are making better ones, I think, this time around for the new Season 3. So just being the Book of Boba Fett version, I think that's fantastic for what they did on that. And I think it's kind of cool to have it, but I just think that's kind of dopey to have it normal. I think the new one looks great. But no, this minifigure is fantastic and honestly not worth the $60, but he is worth picking up in general if you want a good Mandalorian figure. Alright, only thing kind of missing with him is the cloak. Kind of wish you had that. So we have Grogu this time. Grogu had this come off, which is I think is wonderful. And then nothing special about him, kind of basically the same one from the Razor Crest set. And he's small and he can fit perfectly on the Mandalorian's hand, which is wonderful. Here we have Pelemoto. Fantastic. The actress that plays it, which I'm going to talk about this for 1 second, on the face printing here, if I can focus in, there we go. On the face printing here is just, they really aged her up. And the actress she's old, but she isn't that old. And I kind of hate that they did that. But to be honest with you, it's just a lot of frown lines and laugh lines because she is a comedian. So it looks comes in. She does have this wonderful mane here. It's wonderful. They really capture that perm that she has in the show. I think it's fantastic. And alone, it's just a very wonderful piece of Lego. This is an awesome minifigure piece. She does have some printing on the back that has a nice sweet face. And then her joke face here. You do get a nice light silver wrench tool, which is wonderful. And you have a nice little waist piece, which you get 2 of these actually. I have the other one right here, which is awesome. You can add that to some more sets. Actually, you might want to add that to the Mandalorian himself for extra detail. I think that would look better if you add some more silver printing right there, but lost the opportunity there, but you can mod that with it. And she has the printing on her chest here with the wonderful, and then some on the back as well. Nothing on the pant leg, nothing on the side. So this is a nice little minifigure. I think the hair piece alone is worth it. And over here we have the BD unit, which is wonderful to have them in the scale because they have the $100 version, which I haven't got yet, and I kind of want to get it before it goes because I think it's a really cool set. I don't really care for the, the Jedi game. I played it one time and I didn't care for it, but I thought he was the best part of that game, and I love his addition to the Star Wars universe, and I love having it in a little minifigure form, if you count that as a minifigure, but solid one piece. And that's it for the minifigures. Let's go to the set. And here she is, the Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter. Now, I know when this set came out, it was originally met with some lukewarm reviews. People were complaining about it. They didn't like the accuracy of it, or the inaccuracy of it. They just were having a lot of issues with the set, and I didn't pay attention much to it because I hadn't built it yet, and I just wanted to build up my own and fill those feelings for myself. And about a little over half the year later, yes, I can agree with you. This is a little lukewarm. It's just rushed. They just rushed it. I think they probably rushed it to meet up with the Boba Fett release series dates, which is not new for Star Wars. They're known to do that. Hell, Kenner did that. The original Star Wars lineup, it was rushed to meet up to demands. And this, I think, is very much rushed. And it's very bare bones. And I love that kind about the set, that it's bare bones. It's not much to it because in universe, a ship is actually stripped down to be as fast as it can. And it takes away from all the N1s you would have. And it makes it a very awesome mod, and that's what I think is really cool about this N1, and that's why I think this is actually a very good, accurate homage to the set, to the in-universe set. But as a Lego set, it's a little lackluster in terms of just build quality, and overall this presentation. The build experience was actually pretty easy and very quick, I'll tell you that. I got it done in about the equivalent of 3 episodes of Nathan For You, and it was only 3 bags in the whole box, which is crazy. It's 412 pieces. That's like 2 Speed Champion sets, 3 bags. Technically, there were 1 through 2 because the first bags were separated in 2 bags, so it could have been 3 bags, but they didn't do that. They did 2 bags, and then this the 1 bag. Anyway, so it's only 2 bags, 2 steps realistically in 3 bags, and it was this very fast build. And I'll tell you one thing. The N1 from 1999, I think, is kind of the concept or the idea for the set. And the way I say that is because this set pays homage to older sets. It has nice older set sensibility. They use a lot of different colors in the dark bluish gray or light bluish gray. They got yellows, they got blues, they got greens. The inside of the ship is actually very beautiful, has browns in it. It's great, just the variety of colors you get with the pieces. So that really breaks up the repetition of another gray blob because, I mean, honestly, look at it. It's a gray blob besides these yellow markings from the original N1 that it was. And you have some translucent blues here for the engines, which are nice. You have some command, you have some stickers. You actually had about 3 stickers in total, and you have one of the coolest things in the world. You have your spring-loaded shooters, which is wonderful. You get 3 of those and 2 of those, and one's right here. It's only 1 shooter though. It's kind of lame because you get the 2 blasters right here, but only 2 for the missile. 1 for the missile, and I thought those missiles were like green, or was this the lasers green? Maybe it was blue. I'm not sure, but it gives you red. Anyway. So yeah, build experience is pretty solid. Actually, nothing to complain about it. I just thought it would take longer. And it just reminds you, also, these engines have some wonderful, wonderful megaphone pieces for detailing. And that just gives me that. You know, megaphone blasters have always been one of the old staples for older Star Wars sets. So this set just really does pay homage to that 1999 build set. Not just the N-1 Starfighter from Phantom Menace, but just the old mindset of Lego, which I really enjoy. But it does have some quirks that I don't really enjoy. So this part right here is kind of shit. You have this wonderful 1x2 angular extension piece, which is a boing. It's rubber. It's half actual Lego piece, half rubber. So I guess you don't fucking stab your kid in the face with it or stab your brother or sister in the face with it and you play with it. I think that's kind of, you know, it's safe. I get it, but I don't like it. I think it's stupid. That's just me. And this piece right here, because it's kind of flimsy and nothing's holding it in spot, so it can easily just drop down and look kind of crappy. But you want to be at an angle here, just like it is in the show, but they tried. I think they can put a piece right here to kind of stop it from going there. But that's pretty much it. And I do have this thing on a stand, as you can see, because I need it for presentations, and it lays low on the ground. You just can't really see the bottom of it, which isn't much to talk about. The bottom here is actually just some bow pieces, which is wonderful, and you have some wonderful flat tiling work right there. And as you can tell, because I'm shaking this thing like a baby in a sack, it's actually very light, and it has some wonderful swooshability, and it fits firmly in your hand. Well, a grown adult man's hand, I don't know about kids' hands, but it fits perfectly in there. It's just so, the N1 just has a wonderful shape and is so awesome to look at, so it's just nice to have this. This is my first N1, so it's just cool to have it. But when you're grabbing it, you will have this little dangling thing here, right here, which is not, see how that fucking let go? See how this piece of shit comes off? Stupid. So that happens. I wish they had stabilized this a little bit easier with that technical rod to go into the body, but they don't, and it just kind of goes in the back here like that. It clicks on there, and it knocks off so easily, and it looks goofy. It just looks stupid. It's awkwardly bent, and probably my least favorite part on here that's actually built like shit. Okay, so over here we do have the cockpits, which also are another gripe for me. So you get a normal windshield, which is wonderful, but as you can tell right here, there's a big ass gap on there. They didn't really close it up. I guess they really couldn't, or maybe N1s are like that, I don't know. And I don't know, just if you're thinking about this in a role-playing situation, that would probably suck all the air out of it. So Mandalorian would die. But I kind of wish they closed that up in there a little bit easier. Over here, wonderfully, is the cockpit itself. You have some wonderful, I think it, did it fall? Something fell. You have this wonderful brown cockpit, which is just like the N1s, and you have one of the sticker pieces right here, which is the command module, which is actually really awesome. I like the detail on that. Close that bad boy up, and then you have Grogu's little spot here too, which is cool. And you can put an astromech helmet there, which is awesome. I'm kind of annoyed that those gaps are right there a little bit, but that's me being a pet peeve on that situation. Don't let it knock the set. Don't let it knock it because that little thing right there. That's just me. But yeah, you can put an astromech head right there probably too as well. Just fit it as you could. And then I like the little dome piece, and that actually fits better than that one does. And that's pretty much for the main body. We have the engines to check out. So most of your pieces actually go into the engines on the side here, which I thought were going to take up most of the time just because they were going to be very repetitive builds and they were going to repeat them, but they don't. They're actually two very different designs. And by very different, I mean one of them has slightly different variations on this one. Over here, that is a stickered piece, by the way, and I really enjoy it. But overall, they're pretty much the same. A long Texas axle that kind of goes through there and it hooks up everything together. I love these dark bluish gray metallic colors over here. I love that little look. I love these design right here for the bottom of the section. And I do like these printed pieces you have for the turbine spools on the front, which are pretty awesome. But you do have a lot of detail here, which is wonderful, and some more gribbling work on the side here, which is fantastic. You have the spear tips right here to kind of extend out the engines, and some more translucent blues, which I like for the engines. I did a very wonderful job on these, and I think are probably the best parts. And on the top here, we have the playability, which let me demonstrate that right now. And if we can just line up this shot perfectly. Oh, fuck yeah, dude, check that out. That's accurate right there. And that's pretty much what the playability is on this set. You have that one spring-loaded shooter, which is right here in the front end, and the firing mechanism is this push-down button right here, which looks good when it's loaded, looks like shit when it's not, you know, not really accurate, but that's okay. And as awesome, because it's actually one of the main turbo parts, or I guess you can say a supercharger part over here with the carburetor, which is really cool, and that kind of goes with it. And yeah, that's it for playability, realistically, and unless you want to swoosh it around a little bit or stab someone in the eye with the rubber tip, you know, which I do not condone and do not. All right, everybody, and here today we have the Intergalactic Cutie Grogu with a special PSA. Do not hurt anybody or stab anybody with this Lego set. All right, thank you. Arrow, that pretty much wraps up 75325, the Mandalorian N-1 Starfighter. Overall, I just feel like it's rushed. It could have been it could have been a masterpiece of a Lego set, but it's not. It's okay. It's not worth 60 bucks. It's definitely worth 40 bucks, but you do get a damn fine selection of minifigures here. That Mandalorian here, he's just phenomenal. I think that honestly is a Ultimate Collector Series figure. It makes the value of the set very well. Anyway, yes, this is a decent N-1 Starfighter, a decent selection for the Mandalorian collection, just not that good. It's just kind of rushed. Well, I'm Scott. Those were the bricks, and that was the review. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more. And if not, that's cool. I appreciate it anyway. Thanks for viewing this video, and tune back next time. Thanks.